Welcome back, my name is LastKnownMeal and today I'm going to talk about Elex. So I was lucky enough to get this game before the release and I want to thank THQ Nordic and Piranha Bytes for this amazing opportunity. Now at the same time, keep in mind that I'm not being paid to advertise this game, so everything you hear regarding all the pros and cons are coming from me and me alone. Now, first of all, is this game worth buying? This is definitely one of those games where you just need to watch reviews to decide if you're going to buy it or not, because sometimes you're going to see a video and you're going to say, oh my god, maybe this game is not worth my time and my money. But on the other hand, you see people talking about this game and they say all the best about this game and you're like, should I buy this game or not? So Elex is made by Piranha Bytes and I've been a long time fan of that studio because I love their games. They've been making RPG games for such a long time. Their most popular games, Risen and Gothic, are games I played a lot. Now, when I compare Elex to their previous work, I usually compare it to Gothic 1 and 2 because in my opinion, those were their two best games that they ever created. And when people usually look at these reviews, they think, so if this game is as good as Gothic, maybe I should go buy it. But what about the people that never played Gothic and want to go into this game? Now, first of all, when I started playing it, the first thing I noticed is that this is definitely a Piranha Bytes game, because if you did play Gothic and Risen for example, you will definitely and most instantly recognize the world design, how the world plays itself, how the game works, and how everything feels in this game is definitely like Gothic. Now, at the other hand, if you never played Gothic, if you never played any one of those Piranha Bytes games, should you buy this game? Now I'm going to say all the good things I love about this game and then I'm going to mention all the bad things I, well, don't like about this game. First off, graphics. For a lot of people, animations and graphics were the biggest issue when it came to this game because when they were promoting this game such a long time ago, they were showing some pre-alpha footage, and animation and how combat worked during those stages was just awful, and people did not like it. But at the same time I said, like, let's wait for a game to come out, and then we're going to decide if this game is worth buying or not. Graphically, when it comes to world design, when it comes to how the world itself looks, it's gorgeous, it's unique, and I love it. Now, graphically, again, it's not as good as Battlefield 1, for example, but at the same time, it's not bad. Like, graphically, sometimes how they created this world, how the light goes through the trees and everything, it looks gorgeous, honestly. And what you're seeing in the background is basically this game on maximum settings. Now, some of the things, like some animation, how would I say, for example, facial movements is not that amazing. It's okay at best. But at the same time, as you're going through the world itself, as you're looking for different things in the world, it honestly looks gorgeous, in my opinion. Now, then we go to animations. Yes, animations are a bit of a problem in this game, especially sometimes you're going to see a cutscene and there's going to be a certain animation that one character is going to do, and you're going to say, oh my god, this is so 2010. I get it, I know. But at least for me, it did not ruin how the game plays itself. On the other hand, when it comes to walking animation, running animation, using jetpack, there is some issues between transitions. There is some issues between fluidity when it comes to animations, especially when it comes to combat. Now, combat is not just mash the left mouse button and you're going to do your attacks. No, there is a certain level of strategy you need to think about to kill a certain monster. So you do have a jetpack, you do have all kinds of weapons from swords, axes, bows, guns, everything, magic. So you just need to utilize all of those things to decide how you're going to fight against your enemy. Now, as I said, combat needs more fluidity. For example, if I talk about The Witcher and how the combat there worked, some people also argue that The Witcher combat wasn't all that best, but the one thing that really came to my mind when I'm talking about fluidity in movement, it's definitely the one in The Witcher 3. Now, again, this is not game breaking for Elex. I did not have any major issues when it comes to combat. Sometimes when you use a jetpack, he's going to land and there's going to be some problem with movement. You're not going to move straight away and an enemy can hit you and that can be a problem. So it takes a while to get used to a combat and movement in this game, but it's not game breaking. At the same time, you do need to imply some level of strategy when fighting your enemies. You can roll, you do have stamina, so if you hit a couple of times and you deplete your stamina, you're going to be vulnerable. At the same time, you can use a jetpack to run away, and if you think that using jetpack is going to be really easy when it comes to combat, for example, you go on a building with your jetpack and you're going to be safe. Enemies do have bows, enemies do switch between bows and weapons, like for example swords. They do use guns, they do use frag grenades. They're okay when it comes to AI. It's a standard RPG AI in my opinion when it comes. It's not Dark Souls, but at the same time, they are going to surround you. They are challenging to fight. I mean, this game is challenging on its own. So you do need to roll, duck, evade, parry. You do need to defend yourself when it comes to fighting people, especially. So even using a jetpack against some monsters is not going to help you, because they will be able to fire some sort of projectiles at you and you will be their target, even if you thought that using jetpack is going to break your game when it comes to difficulty in combat itself. So yes, fluidity is a problem when it comes to animations. It's not as how would I say, welcoming as other games, but honestly, it was always like that in Piranha Bytes games. Gothic 1 and 2, that combat system, you just needed to get used to it. You needed to figure out strategy to fight your enemies. Even in Gothic 3, combat there was boring in my opinion, because you would just mash that left mouse button, he would do that motion capture animation, and it wasn't as exciting as combat in Elex, for example. Now, on the other hand, everything besides that, how the world plays itself. Basically, once you start this game, you can do whatever you want. The game is not telling you what to do. I mean, you do have main objectives and side missions, but you're not obligated to go to a certain objective, then go there, then go there, then go there. You're not constricted in any way. For example, for the first 20 minutes you do have to follow a certain line, of course, it's the start of the game, but after that, you're free to do whatever you want. There is a city, well not a city, a village, in like the first half an hour of the game. You can decide if you're going to go in it or just go somewhere else. Of course, if you don't go inside, you're not going to get access to better equipment. On the other hand, you can just go and try your luck in this huge world. Now, as it is with the story, you are on a world of Magellan. And Magellan was hit by a comet. Now, of course, the entire world went to shit, and there's 4 factions that kinda found their place in this new world. They're the Alps, the Berserkers, the Clerics, and the Outlaws. And there is a faction system in this game, that's what I'm mentioning this. Every single faction is different. For example, the Alps are the main baddies. You have the Berserkers, who are something like the good guys. You have the Clerics, which are something, I don't know, say neutral. They love machinery. And then you have the outlaws, and these guys don't give a two shits about anyone else. So yeah, everyone uses Elex, this mineral, for different purpose. So you have to decide. There is a character system in this game. You can develop your character as you want to develop your characters. Basically, you can be a bad guy, you can be a good guy. And what I love about games like Gothic 1 and 2, there are different ways to finish a mission. There are different ways you can act as a character. It's taking an advantage of a certain situation. That's what I loved about Gothic 1 and 2, is that there were multiple ways to finish a quest. Now, of course, it's not as like the quest system is not the same as in Gothic 1 and 2, because in Gothic 1, once you got a quest, you had to figure out where you need to go. In Elex, it is showing on your map, but still, of course, it's a newer game. It has to be adapted to a new generation of gamers. But again, it's not game breaking. So every single decision you make, for example, the first half an hour in this game gives you a decision. There's a certain berserker that he says like, I'm going to escort you to our village. Now, in the middle of that journey, he says like, hey, there are ruins over there. And you can decide if you're going to go to those ruins. That is going to be more difficult, of course. You're going to encounter more enemies, but you're going to get more loot. Or you can take the easy way and go to the other side and just slay a couple of monsters and you are in the village, no problems whatsoever. Now, there is a conflicting choice there, because if you do go to the ruins, you're going to get better equipment, and that guy is going to respect you and like you. So every single person, on how you talk with him, what you do for them, either likes you or dislikes you. Every single decision you make affects how the game is going to play out. There are different endings, and everything you do counts. So you gotta be careful. Whom do you speak with and what decisions do you make? Because you need to think about the big picture here. And that is what I love about this game, is that there is a karma system, there is a character development system, and at the end of the day, you can decide who you want to be and how you want to shape the future of Magalan. Do you want to be an Alb? Do you want to stay an Alb because you're an Alb at the beginning, but your ship crashes and then you lose all the Elex that Albs consume, and you're just there as no one, trying to decide who are you going to be. So different factions, different ideals, and you have to decide. Now, if you played Gothic 1, Gothic 2, if you are familiar with Piranha Bytes games, you are going to love this game. Once you just go over those animations and combat system, which is not that bad, honestly. It does need some work when it comes to animations and fluidity, but you can get used to it and it becomes fun. On the other hand, if you never played any one of these games, if you're looking for an RPG which has a deep character system, which doesn't hold your hand, you're free to do whatever you want. Graphically, this game is gorgeous, animations need work, and if you can get over combat, if you can get used to it, trust me, you are going to enjoy this game. Of course, there's going to be some people who disagree, some people who agree with me. I want to get some conversation going here. Just tell me down below in the comment section what you think about all of this. When it comes to characters, they're interesting. Everyone I talked with so far is interesting. Now, I didn't want to show too far into the game when it comes to background gameplay, because I want you guys to experience that for the first time. I didn't expect this game to be this good, honestly. Yes, I know it sounds like I'm being paid to say this. Honestly, I was expecting an okay game. What I got was a surprise, because I got an RPG which doesn't hold my hand, which I need to think about every single one of my decisions. I need to think about this. I need to think about all of the decisions I'm going to make, and see if this, if my character is going to go into trouble or not, if I'm going to make a good choice or a bad choice, because nothing in this game is black and white. Now, on the other hand, when it comes to technical thingies, I did not experience any crashes whatsoever. For me, game is okay. It's running in 60 FPS with no problems. I did not have any FPS issues. It's stable. And I'm going to leave you my configuration in the description below so you can check out what kind of a PC do I have. At the same time, as I said, FPS is stable. This game does not crash. I did not have any game-breaking bugs. Like, I think one time I was not able to open up my inventory. I had to just reload the game. I mean, I had to go to main menu and then load up the game again, but that happened once. Besides that, I did not have any problems. Again, the game is challenging. You do need to think when you fight. You do need to think about making choices in this game. But besides that, I'm having fun. So hopefully this video is going to help you in your decision to either buy or not buy Elex. It's a really good thing that this game came out, because I can finally play a new RPG made by Piranha Bytes. And it's cool, because you just got so many things at your disposal when it comes to weapons and armor and all of that. And you have to earn your armor. And that is what I love about these RPGs. You need to earn something to get it. So that's it. That's all for this review. Hopefully I did a good job. I know it's a longer video, but this was just an anticipated game. I had to go through every single detail. Thank you so much for watching. This is LastKnownMeal signing out, and don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button and share this video with your friends who are not sure if they're going to buy Elex or not. Stay classy everyone, and bye bye.